How's it going, guys? Nintendo Enthusiast here. Today I wanted to highlight 4 upcoming Nintendo Switch games that were just recently fully revealed this week. There's been a lot of Nintendo Switch news. A lot of it might not be exactly what you want, like if you were expecting Nintendo to remake Mario 64, but at least the console is getting some awesome third-party games that are supposed to come this holiday. And of course, the recently announced first-party title, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. This is a sequel set 100 years before Breath of the Wild, and if you've played that game, you can probably guess what the end of Age of Calamity is going to be like. But we don't know a lot about what led to that moment. First off, I always loved the character models of these champions. Ever since I saw them in Breath of the Wild, I thought, man, I would love to play as those characters. And now I can in Age of Calamity. I personally really liked the original Hyrule Warriors. I thought the story was really interesting, how it basically combined a bunch of Zelda universes and still actually made sense in terms of its continuity. Of course, there was a bunch of little things in there that didn't make sense, but overall, I thought the plot was done really well, which gives me hope for this sequel. Based on the gameplay we've seen, there's already some really cool things, like Zelda using the Sheikah Slate for her attacks, and there's even some breakable environments as well. And this may or may not be a thing, but it looked like Zelda is using her Sheikah Slate to pick up items in the environment and use them as weapons. I can't tell for sure based on the trailer, but that's what it seems like, which I think is really cool. And it looks like Koei Tecmo is actually bringing in a lot of elements from Breath of the Wild, like Link sliding on his shield going down a hill, or even the perfect dodge that goes into slow motion. They said in the announcement trailer that they were working really closely with Nintendo on this story, so I'm really excited to see what this game is like. Next up, we got Prince of Persia, which may or may not be a Switch game. During Ubisoft Forward, the Switch version was not included in the list of consoles the game is coming to, but in one of their tweets, they actually have Switch listed. And along with that, a known industry insider at ZhugeEX said that the game is not coming in January specifically, so it may be coming to Switch at a later date. The game was also listed on Ubisoft's website, but has since been changed. So if I had to guess, I think this game is definitely coming to Switch. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's not graphically super impressive, so it doesn't look like it would push the hardware, which is sort of an issue in and of itself. A lot of people are disappointed in how this remake looks. Obviously, it looks a lot better than the PS2 original, but there are some really ugly character models in this remake, and they look pretty jarring next to a lot of the beautiful environments. I'm hoping that they get updated a bit before the final release, but either way, I'll probably be waiting for the Switch version so I can review it here on the channel. Immortals Fenyx Rising from Ubisoft. This game was originally known as Gods and Monsters, which I think was a way better name because Immortals Fenyx Rising kind of sounds like a generic iPhone game, but either way, this game actually looks really great. And it was announced the game is coming to Switch on December 3rd. I really didn't expect to see this game this year. Fenyx Rising is a third-person open-world action-adventure set in the landscape of Greek mythology, and you can choose from the very beginning where you want to go. The main character, Fenyx, is shipwrecked on an island where all hell is breaking loose, and you have to travel to different areas to support the different gods. And what was also revealed is you can actually decide what Fenyx looks like. In Fenyx Rising, you can expect to fight all sorts of cool beasts you remember from Greek mythology, and you'll get special tools to help you throughout your journey, including getting wings so you can fly pretty much anywhere, as well as legendary powers that will help turn the tides of battle. Now, I'm not much of a Ubisoft guy these days, but it seems like they're stepping out of their comfort zone with Immortals Fenyx Rising. And of course, the game obviously draws a ton of inspiration from Breath of the Wild, and I think we're probably going to start seeing more games that have been in development for a while now that use a lot of the same ideas and concepts of Breath of the Wild. And lastly, we got Chronos Before the Ashes. You might have heard of Remnant from the Ashes that released last year, which has sorta garnered a cult following ever since then. And the developer Gunfire Games has supported the game ever since it launched, with recently releasing its final DLC expansion. I played through Remnant from the Ashes and I thought it was fantastic, and I'm really not into Souls-like games, but since Remnant's main focus was shooting guns instead of swinging swords, I was able to get through it. Unfortunately, Chronos Before the Ashes is solely focused on melee combat, but apparently there's also some Zelda-like puzzles included as well. The game actually already released on Oculus VR, but apparently this version is adding a bunch of new elements, and of course you're able to play it without VR on a normal platform. One of the more unique features in the game is every time you die, your character ages. And since this is sort of a Souls-like melee-focused game, you can probably expect to die a lot, which with your character aging every time you die, it can surely make things more intense. I was surprised and happy to see the game is coming to Nintendo Switch. It uses a different art style from Remnant. Remnant was more realistic looking, I guess, whereas Chronos is a bit more cartoony looking. It has some good looking, more realistic environments, but overall there's more of a stylized look to it. One thing I have to acknowledge before I head out is that the trailer for Chronos was really terrible. It's this live action 80s focused trailer, and I'm not sure why it's like this. It seems like it really has nothing to do with the actual game, so it was really random, and the acting is really bad even though there's only a few lines. I'll play some of it with audio before I end the video, but yeah, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. Are you excited for Immortals, Prince of Persia, Hyrule Warriors? I'm personally looking forward to every single one of these, and I cannot wait to play them and talk about them on the channel. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, hit that thumbs down, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.
Mom, I'm busy! Dinner's not even ready.